Joltin Joe by Tony Prestandrea. Main character information. Tony is a hard-working husband and father, enjoys letting off steam, hard work, hard play. He believes wife doesn't appreciate him. Mary Ann wants Tony to spend more time doing family activities. Joe DiMaggio, a Hall of Fame Yankee, retired and working for the Atlantic City casinos. Minor characters are 3 teenage boys. Scene 1. Main character's home. Tony and Mary Ann are on stage, lights up.
When are you going to pack the kids for this trip to Jersey? We got to leave early before traffic hits the Verrazano Bridge.
We're not going to Atlantic City, Tony. Me and Mom wants to do some shopping. I'm not crazy about the condo and nothing for the kids to do. They want to hang out with their friends. Want to hand me that bag of groceries?
He hands her the groceries.
Not true. Oh, that's you, Tony.
Okay. Not true, Mary Ann. The beach is right outside the condo living room window. There's the Olympic-sized pool and dozens of electronic games in the arcade for the kids. Come on, let's go.
10 minutes, and they're bored silly. You know that's true. This here table wobbles a lot. Can you do something and get off your rear end?
Tony rolls his eyes and shakes his head as he levels the table. She raises her voice.
You gambled your hard-earned money away. Admit it, Tony.
There you go, raising your voice again and lecturing me again. I like to blow off steam once in a while. What's so terrible about that? I love you, love the kids, and must say I'm a pretty good breadwinner.
Yeah, well, get a hobby like golf or bowling where you don't come back smelling of cigarettes and booze. The kids see what's going on.
Don't have to raise your voice so the whole friggin' neighborhood can hear our problems.
You're never home. Either driving up to Boston with your Goomba buddies and watching your beloved Red Sox in Fenway Park, or spending a weekend in Atlantic City. Should never have bought the condo. Tony reminds me of the Porsche you bought me as a Christmas present.
How often I gotta tell you, it's pronounced Porsche, not Porsche.
Porsche, whatever. You bought it because you wanted it. Admit it, Tony.
Tony walks away from Mary Ann, talking to himself, shoulders sagging. Phone rings.
Oh, hi, Mom. Yes, we're still going shopping. I'll pick you up in an hour.
You really mean it, damn it. I'm going to Atlantic City with or without you. Remember that song by U2, With or Without You?
Tony strolls off stage singing the words to With or Without You with his made-up lyrics as though he hasn't a care or worry.
Going to Atlantic City with or without you. Gotta have a real good time with or without you.
The lights dim, the stage floor becomes Atlantic City boardwalk. Lights up, Tony on boardwalk in morning fog. He's very tired. Tony is speaking to himself.
Pretty foggy. Not many people walking the boards. A few bleary-eyed gamblers in need of a shave, but mostly some blessed sleep. Yeah, big shot, and you're one of them. Oh, my aching back.
He grabs his back in pain.
When do we get here? What do we get here? Several seagulls looking for their next meal. Shoo, bird, shoo.
He chases after the birds, sounds of birds from Northport.
Mary Ann may be right about the condo. The place isn't right for families. Knew it was a mistake as I signed on the dotted line. The money from my real estate business was rolling in, and I said, what the hell? Wonder what she and the kids are doing. Don't get soft and call home. What do I remember from last night? I had an okay steak dinner at Caesar's Palace, took in a show at Trump Tower, and settled in at a blackjack table with 1,000 clams in my wallet. Was I feeling lucky? Not really. But it was a slow way of losing $1 grand, an entertainment of sorts, and characters at the table were entertaining. Could seriously do without the cigarette smoke.
Through the morning mist, a tall figure approaches, walking confidently, his head erect and body seemingly gliding forward. He is dressed in a light brown pinstripe suit. His solid light blue tie flits in the ocean breeze. The closer he comes, the more familiar he looks. His silver-colored hair combed back tight to his scalp. One or two walkers point his way and rush over to talk. He appears annoyed and quickly turns them away. Animated and angry seagulls screech and dart at and around him, but he seems unfazed.
This guy sure is a sharp dresser. seems to be gliding down the boardwalk.
More bird sounds.
Those birds don't bother him. Who is that guy? No way, it's Joe DiMaggio, Joltin Joe. He looks good. Gotta be at least 65 if he's a day.
Eager for his autograph, Tony raises the newspaper and pen he's holding, but then hesitates.
Yeah, he probably wants to be left alone. I read that Joe was somewhat the loner type. What brought him to Atlantic City?
Hey, what you got there?
Tony doesn't double take. Joe is talking to him.
Well, there, under your arm. The newspaper. You want an autograph?
Well, yeah, sure, that'd be terrific, Mr. DiMaggio.
Joe lifts a pen from his inside suit pocket, an expensive, old-fashioned Parker fountain pen, and autographs the newspaper.
I got Mickey's autograph a few years back at a golf outing.
Man was one hell of a player. What's your name?
Tony Morelli.
You a Yankee fan, Tony Morelli? A New Yorker?
Nah, I'm originally from Boston, and Ted Williams was my hero. But you were great too, Joe.
The baseball writers make comparisons between me and Ted. The sports people say if I played in Fenway Park and Ted played in Yankee Stadium, we'd both hit a lot more home runs.
Joe points to a bench.
Grab a seat and watch your step. This boardwalk is old, soft, and spongy, in need of serious repair.
I will, Mr. DiMaggio. I'm a fan of baseball.
That's good. The game isn't what it once was. Football is the rage now. They say baseball's too slow. I know it, and I wish it wasn't so.
An older man slows, looks their way, and tips his cap. Joe waves to him.
You played ball in school?
Played high school ball, loved carrying my duffel bag around the neighborhood. Guess I was showing off.
Tony hesitates, his voice thickens and cracks.
I let the team down, dropped the fly ball in a big game. I never forgot that era. It cost us the county championship.
It happens. Stop beating yourself up over a fly ball.
Sure, but you're Joe DiMaggio. It's different for you.
What do you do for a living, Tony?
I'm a home builder on Long Island.
That's an honest profession. Good for you. We are Italian, and many Italians are contractors and laborers in the construction industry. Bricklayers, landscapers, you know. Come on, let's take a walk.
He removes his jacket and tie.
I got a bat, some balls and gloves in my car. Feel like warming up? There's a field within walking distance.
Tony trails behind Joe as they walk off stage. Lights dim. Lights go up, Tony and Joe walk onto stage, which is the baseball field, and Joe kicks the ground.
The field isn't much. Bumpy sand, no grass.
No problem. Having you here feels like I'm in Yankee Stadium.
Tony points to Encircle's imaginary stadium.
This breeze is picking up sand funnels. Sure you want to practice?
Sure as I played professional baseball for the New York Yankees. Gonna hit some ground balls your way. Are you ready?
Tony waves, he's ready.
That's good. Stay in front of the ball. Let it bounce off your chest if you don't field it clean. Good, that's good.
Joe bats half dozen imaginary ground balls towards Tony. Some he fields cleanly and others he bobbles, being so nervous. 3 teenage boys approach, carrying baseball gear. Hey, look what we got here. Careful with the bat, old man. Don't want to swing too hard and hurt yourself.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Joe looks at Tony and places a finger to his lips and shakes his head.
You boys want to play ball?
That's right, old man, and you're taking up space in our practice field.
Tell you what. Let's have a contest and whoever loses finds another field to practice on. I'll have Tony give each of you 3 pitches. Let's see how many you drive over the fence.
Joe points to the fence with his bat.
Then it'll be my turn.
Oh, this will be so easy. How many times you gonna need, old man? The 3 boys seem thoroughly amused and confident.
Just one.
There is silence, each boy looking at each other, and then more laughter. Only now, the laughter has a nervous tone. Tony pitches to the 3 boys. The first 2 teenagers swing hard, but never hit the ball out of the infield. They shove each other, kick at the ground, and look disappointed.
Not as easy as you thought, is it, fellas?
The boy who did all the talking steps to the plate and hits the first ball to shallow center field. He misses the second pitch completely. His face is red and has a stranglehold on the bat as Tony throws him the third pitch. The ball falls harmlessly to the ground short of the outside fence. He slams the bat to the ground.
Well, boys, though, doesn't appear you hit it out of the park. I guess it's my turn. Say, Tony, try to pitch the ball up about this high.
Joe holds the bat out over the plate about waist high. Tony throws, misses the plate, and almost hits Joe. The three boys are eagerly watching Joe.
Calm down, Tony.
The next pitch is perfect, waist high. The crack of the bat hitting the ball is amazing. Tony and the three boys look skyward, following the flight of the ball. Ball sails over the outfield fence, across the adjoining street, and makes a thump as it lands on a car roof in one of the casino parking lots.
Jeez, you hear that ka-thunk? The ball went over the fence, over the street, and landed in the car parking lot. Must be some dent in that car roof. What am I hearing?
He looks at every part of the field.
Those ain't cheers. It sounds like the ka-ching, ka-ching from hundreds of slot machines. The slots are cheering you, Joe.
Not bad for an old, out-of-shape ball player.
Joe has a broad smile. Tony gives him a thumbs up sign. Holy crap, did you see that? The three boys are amazed as well as embarrassed. Who are you, mister? And how'd you do that?
You dumb brats played ball with the great Joe DiMaggio.
The boys awkwardly leave the field, dropping their equipment, shaking their heads in disbelief, and arguing with each other. Tony pumps the air excitedly.
All right, back up into center field and catch a few. That small exhibition is over.
Joe hits a high fly ball toward Tony.
I can't see the ball, Joe. The sun is in my eyes.
Tony hears the ball hit the ground several feet away and looks for a place to hide.
Don't get worked up about not making the catch. The sun is high in the sky and you lost it in the glare. No sunglasses. Happened to me more than once.
Really?
The game you played in high school was an early Saturday game, right?
I remember it like it was yesterday, but it's got to be over 20 years if it's a day.
Bet you lost that ball in the sun too. It happens.
Never thought about it that way. It seems so simple hearing it from you. Sometimes we all drop the ball.
Tony tosses the baseball in the air and fumbles it, but catches the ball.
Thanks, Mr. DiMaggio.
Joe places his hand on Tony's shoulder.
Something else you want to talk about?
Lights down. Scene 2, lights go up. Joe and Tony are back at boardwalk bench.
Excuse me, Mr. DiMaggio. What did you ask me?
I asked if there was something you wanted to talk over, something on your mind. You're wearing a wedding ring, but don't see your wife by your side. Her kids hanging onto your leg. You seriously need a shave, some clean clothes, and you probably lost cash in the casino.
Page 11 is missing.
All right, it says,
Oh, Tony. Tony, he looks
Page
himself
11,
over.
you don't have page 11?
I do not have page 11, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can have mine because I'm not in.
Oh, all right, thank you. Tony looks himself over and acts dejected.
I was thinking of you and Marilyn Monroe. Everything I read says you were crazy about her.
It's true, Tony. She was very special to me. And died much too young. And we married in '54, about 35 years ago, around the time you were born, right? The marriage didn't last. Never know if we could have had a second chance. That is, had she lived. But what about you? Why are you here without your family?
It's a long story. I don't want to trouble you.
A few more people slow and stare as they pass the two men.
No problem, my troubled Boston friend. And
It's like a war at home.
that bad.
Worse. You were in World War II. You know what a war is.
It's funny you say that. I was stationed here in Atlantic City during the war as a physical trainer. I never was overseas, never saw any battles. The boardwalk has changed. It's mostly high rollers who come here. The working fella can hardly afford the price of admission. Morelli is an Italian name. Your wife like to cook, like to serve up some tasty eggplant parmesan, maybe some lasagna?
Answers yes to all those questions.
Marilyn tried to cook for me. Tried to be a regular wife, but that damn Hollywood always getting between us.
Joe angrily slams his fist into his hand. Tony stiffens quarter.
Sorry to hear that, Mr. DiMaggio. Mary Ann would love to cook up an Italian meal if you're ever in our neighborhood.
Well, thanks for the invitation, Tony. I know you love your kids. All men love their kids. Do you love your wife? What did you say her name was?
Mary Ann. And yes, I love her very much, even with...
I know. Even with all the yelling and cursing, excuse my French, all that bullshit, Miss Monroe and I had huge battles. Extra inning fights, I call them, but sure wish she were here. I carry her photo in my wallet.
Joe shows Tony the photo. Joe steps closer to Tony, looks him straight in the eye, grabs him by the shoulders.
You find a good woman, then you got to figure out a way to hold on. Practice holding on the same way you practice hitting a baseball, catching fly balls. Capiche?
Joe moves around, swinging her back.
Making commitments ain't like it was in the old days. People don't agree on a handshake. There's a dozen lawyers, all kinds of legal documents. And a marriage is almost as bad with prenuptial agreements. Half of the marriages end in divorce. Some of my buddies are already divorced with second wives.
Almost hard to believe. I wish I had more time with Marilyn, but it wasn't meant to be. She's a wonderful memory now. Your Mary Ann's still alive. Probably hoping you come home and tell her you love her. Bet she's planning a meal for you as we speak.
You really think so?
Sure as I know I had a 56-game hitting streak.
That is one hell of a record. The hitting streak still belongs to you. Thanks for the advice, Mr. DiMaggio. Can I ask what brought you back to Atlantic City?
Joe dusts himself off.
Let's grab a couple of hot dogs and we can talk.
The lights go dim. Lights go up.
Those hot dogs were not bad at all. You asked me what brought me to Atlantic City. Well, it's not the gambling. The casino pays me to mingle and talk baseball with the nice people who come here to have fun and forget their troubles for a few days. It's crazy since I'm paid more to gab with people than perform on the field. As for me, I enjoy the good food, taking in some good shows, and talking with the public.
Sorry, I've been told I ask a lot of questions. Why did you stop me? Ask if I wanted your autograph. I saw you ignore a few people who approached you on the boardwalk.
That's an easy question. I saw you coming my way, noticed how you walked, checked your body movements.
Joe points toward the boardwalk.
You had no energy, no zip to your walk. It's the same way I checked out every pitcher I faced in the batter's box. They telegraphed, give me a signal with how they moved, told me what pitch was coming my way, and if they were confident facing me. Not many people know that bit of information. Bottom line is, I figured you might need a small lift.
Thanks, I sure did.
Here, you try it. What can you tell about the woman walking towards us? Study her body movements, the way she's walking.
Woman walks across the stage.
She's walking faster than most. And she has a small smile, like she's hiding a secret nobody else knows.
Yeah, go on, and what might all that mean?
Like maybe she just won a huge slot machine jackpot.
Bingo, you got it. That would be my guess too.
Do you miss playing?
Players who say they don't miss the excitement, the cheering crowd, or hitting a home run, don't you believe them?
Joe smoothly slips on his jacket and they shake hands.
Thanks for pitching to me and good luck to you and your family. I want you to take my card.
Joe hands Tony his card.
It has my personal phone number. You call if I can be of any assistance in the future. Now go. Make a good life for you and the family. Ah, here comes the sun.
He winks at Tony. Tony waves as Joe glides down the boardwalk.
Ain't that a kick in the pants? Joltin Joe DiMaggio thanked me, Tony Morelli from Boston, for playing a little baseball. Gotta tell Mary Ann.
Tony searches for his cell phone and finally finds it. Mary Ann is on the other side of the stage. Her phone rings.
Hi, honey.
Is that you, Tony? Everything all right?
Yes, yes, all is good. So glad I got you home. I wanted to hear your voice. Something very weird happened here in AC.
Your voice sounds different. What happened?
You're not gonna believe what I tell you. I'm on my way home. I'll explain it all then. Atlantic City's not much fun without all of you. Miss you and the kids. Got a question for you. You baked my special meal while I was away?
Sure did. Eggplant parmigiana. How did you know?
I made a new special friend today and he guessed it.
Oh, hurry home. Love you so.
Yes, and I love you too, very much.
Mary Ann leaves the stage. Tony looks down and sees a baseball bat. He picks it up and is surprised.
Joe forgot his bat? No, he must have left it here on purpose, and he signed it. To Tony Morelli, a fan of baseball, Joe DiMaggio.
Tony is standing on stage holding the bat and smiling as lights go down. Lights go up, bat breaks the bat.
These two are not complete. This
No.
one is not complete now.
Yes.
This one is.
More or less.
This one's intact.
I think we'll wait, you both, and then you'll come up and we'll talk about them.
I want to thank the,
Yeah, you did a great job.
you did a great job.
Thank you, Tony. Throw me in big pitch there, dude.
Okay, I put it in.